So I just filmed this entire video, went upstairs, put it on my laptop, and there is no audio. I don't know what happened, but I'm so sad right now. We're gonna film it again. Hopefully I can do this in one take. I'll be like those professional board game content creators that just do one take, don't even have to edit. So I would love that. That'd be great. No editing? Yes, please. Hey guys, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to another board game video. Today is March 1st, and I wanted to start doing this type of video where I recap everything that we played in the prior month, so in February. So we're going to be going over all of the games that we already had in our collection that we played, or new to us in February games that we played. If you guys are interested in seeing all of those and just hanging out with me, continue watching. If you enjoy, I'd appreciate a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Also, comment down below a game that you guys played in the month of February that you enjoyed. I would love to know that as well. And also, if you have yet to subscribe, I would appreciate that very much. I have been loving making board game content, and I plan on continuing to do it, and I'm very, very excited. Also, another thing that I'm excited about, I am going to tell you guys this. It's going to be a little sneak peek between you and me. In the month of March, there will be a video. Francis and I have decided. If you guys have not seen our basement, I'm currently in the basement right now. And this entire area over here is like a second living room. It's technically like a rec room. I feel like a lot of people in Canada have this, but we don't use it ever. If we ever watch a movie or sit and watch TV, it's upstairs in our main living room where we have the kitchen and the dining room and the living room. So this space never gets used. And you know what we do a lot? We play board games a lot. And you know where we play them right now? In our dining room. So we have decided in the month of March to make over or transform our rec room into a board game room, which I am so excited about. I have a whole plan to do a big video on transforming our rec room into a board game room. I'm gonna redo all of our board games on shelves, and I'm gonna reorganize them and just transform this space into an awesome board game room. And I'm so excited to film that video and share it with you guys. So get excited for that. So if you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when that video goes up, because that's gonna be exciting. But without further ado, I don't want this video to be crazy long. I have a feeling it's going to be, so grab a cup of coffee, grab a snack, grab whatever you need, and let's get into this February game recap. So the first game that we played this month is one that I have talked about on the channel quite a bit already, and it is actually right here. I'm not going to take it off the shelf because it is one of my display board games. I love the art in this game. I don't think you guys can actually see the title, but that is Above and Below. It is published by Renovation Games, and it is designed and illustrated by Ryan Lockett, which he is just a talented dude, let me just tell you. But Above and Below is one that I've talked about. I think I talked about it in my intro games, but it is an amazing game where you're playing as this little group or this little tribe of people, and you can do different things with each character, and I'm just in love with this game. It is such a good intro, storytelling, immersive game. You can go and explore with some of your people, you can build buildings, you can collect resources. It is just so much fun. There's an encounter book, so whenever you do explore the depths or the below, hence the above and below, you read this little paragraph, or someone else reads a little paragraph from this encounter book. So it's a very immersive storytelling game. It's great for intro players. I believe that it is a great intro storytelling game, so that is one that I've talked about here on the channel already, Above and Below, but we played that this month and I absolutely love this game. Next game that we played and actually got in February is this wonderful game right here. February was the month of me discovering how much I love heavy roll and writes. I kid you guys not, I think we purchased like 4 heavy roll and writes in the month of February. We don't have one of them. I ordered Three Sisters, or like I pre-ordered Three Sisters, so that will be coming eventually, I think in March or April, hopefully. So that's one. We also have Fleet the Dice game, which we have yet to play. I'm very excited about that one. We have this one, and then I have another one that I'm going to talk to you guys about. But this month I've just fallen in love with roll and write games, especially heavy roll and write games. So this right here is Hadrian's Wall. I also discovered that I really need to stop basing my interest in a board game on the cover. Do not let the cover fool you. This is a really, really good game. In a lot of roll and write games, you do have one sheet. Actually, this isn't even a roll and write. This is actually a flip and write. It's hardly even a flip and write because you literally just like flip one card, get those resources, and then do a bunch of stuff on your paper. So it's hardly even a flip and write. It's just a write, pretty much. But usually in a roll and write game, there's one sheet, but with Hadrian's Wall and the other game that I'm going to talk about, there are actually two sheets that make it so much heavier and so much more thinky. There's so many more options, and I absolutely love this game. It is published by Renegade Games and designed by Bobby Hill. I think this may be my favorite roll and write currently. It's hard to choose between this and the other one that I'm going to be talking about, but this one definitely is just satisfying because you can make so many different connections. You'll use one resource to do this, but then that makes it so you can use another resource to do something else, and then you can do that. It's so good. I love Hadrian's Wall. Definitely recommend it if you like roll and writes, but you're looking for something a little bit more challenging. This is what you should check out. Don't let, again, the theme and the art fool you. It is just such a good game. It may not be the cutest of games, but it is so good. I guess while I'm talking about the heavier roll and writes, I will show you guys the next one that I kind of can't decide between the two, which one I like better. This one I like the theme and the art better, obviously. If you guys know my taste in games, you can already tell that this is more of my theme, but this is Dinosaur Island Roar and Write. I love this. It is published by Pandasaurus Games, and it's designed by Brian Lewis, David McGregor, and Marissa Mistura. It's so good. Dinosaur Island Roar and Write, you are basically creating your own Jurassic Park or dinosaur theme park, I guess, with real dinosaurs. But it is so much fun. It is a roll and write. Unlike Hadrian's Wall, which is a flip and write, this one you actually have dice. You are rolling those dice. Everyone actually has those die, and you are drafting them. So you're picking the ones that you want. The opponents are picking the ones that they want in order to get some resources, and then once you have those resources, you use your die as workers to place on places to do things throughout your park. So you are building buildings, you have this like grid where you are drawing like Tetris shaped pieces as like the buildings and the dinosaur habitats to lay out your park in different ways, and you're doing like tours throughout the park, so you're attaching different buildings in order to make that tour to get different things. You're also getting dinosaur, what is it called? Not molecules. You're like doing research to create different dinosaurs and building buildings, hiring people. It is just such a good game. Again, I can't really decide between this and Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall does have more like satisfying connections. But this one, I just love the art. I love the theme of creating your own dinosaur theme park. It is just so good. Again, you can play this one solo, so I'm super excited when we do get this whole board game room set up. Francis has a computer there that he always video games on, so while he's video gaming, I can be playing a solo game of one of these roll and writes, which I am obsessed with, and I definitely recommend either or of these roll and writes. I think they are both absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to play them more because they're just so good. So moving into 3 games that we ended up playing with our friends Tom and Asha on one of our board game nights. The first one, we actually played Lost Ruins of Arnak, which the base game is right here. We've had that for quite a while, and it has been a favorite of ours since we got it. It is such a good like exploring game with deck building as well as worker placement. There's just a bunch of different mechanics in that just work so well together. but we just recently actually got the Leaders expansion. I purchased this, or like I pre-ordered this in October of last year, and we ended up getting it in February. So yes, this one I was so excited to get my hands on. Basically, this just adds asymmetric variable player powers? Asymmetric player powers? What is it called? I think it's variable player powers, but it just adds 9 different leaders that you can be that allow you to do something that someone else can't. I love a good variable player power because I like to be able to do a special something that everyone else can't. It's just so much fun. So this adds that. I've only played 2 of the leaders so far, which is great. I still have 4 more to explore. This also, if you have the Lost Ruins of Arnak base game, this adds more items, this adds more artifacts, and it also adds another 2-sided research track, which if you haven't played the game before, you're like, what are all those things, Jenna? But it is just such a good expansion. It just adds so much to the game. It doesn't really change the feel of the game too much. It just adds a little bit more to it, which is just chef's kiss. Absolutely love it. It's only, I believe, like $28 here in Canada, so such a good purchase, and I'm so happy that we ended up getting that. Very happy with that one. So next up, that game night, we wanted to play a little bit of a quicker, easier, medium game, or like a filler game, I guess, between the 2 harder games. And we ended up picking Calico, but we ended up playing Speed Calico, which we tend to do this because if you've never played Calico before, basically it is a like very thinky tile placing game. You are creating this quilt with like hexagon tiles, and you're placing them in different ways in order to score points. Very puzzly, a little bit stressful. A lot of people say that this is a very stressful game hidden behind this adorable art. Don't let this cat fool you, because this game is so stressful and so thinky, and it's just, oh, it's good. I love a good puzzle, but some people find it a little bit too stressful. Also, some people can get a little bit of analysis paralysis, which is why we tend to play Speed Calico. We do this quite often because it allows for the game to not drag on for too long, and it allows you to not get as stressed. You kind of just, you know, do your turn as quick as possible and kind of keep the game going so that no one is taking too long, no one is suffering from analysis paralysis. You're kind of just taken. You do have 3 people's turn to kind of think what you are trying to do, but you're not taking forever to think of, you know, what tile you're going to take. So we love just a good Speed Calico. It definitely makes the game a lot quicker and just not as stressful because you're just not thinking about it as much. And yeah, that is Calico. Definitely recommend if you love cute games, but you also love a good panic. Okay, and then after Calico, we finished off the night with a heavier game, but such a good game. Francis ended up purchasing this one at, I think, the beginning of February, and we played it just the 2 of us, and then we played it with Tom and Asha, and this is Mansions of Madness. Oh my goodness, this is such a fun, immersive, horror story themed game. It is so good. If you enjoy Above and Below, this one you will love as well. This one is more story driven. There's not as much to the game. I feel like this, intro gamers could get into this. It is pretty straightforward. You're not doing too much because it is app driven and you are searching this house and going through different stories. I believe there are 4 that come in the base game, and then you can buy more on the app, and then you can also purchase expansions, physical expansions as well. So this is just such a good game. There's a bunch of different stories and scenarios that you can go through, and through the app you are searching different rooms in the house, you are searching different places in each room, and you're going through a story, you're facing some monsters that you have to defeat, and it is just so good. So definitely recommend Mansions of Madness if you love a good immersive story game. It is very stressful because you do end up getting surrounded by monsters, or you would possibly, I don't know. We just did really bad in our scenario, and we ended up being surrounded by 6 monsters. Very scary. More monsters kept on coming out. We were very scared, but Yes, we have yet to beat this game, but eventually we will beat at least one scenario. But yes, Mansions of Madness, so good. Such a good game to play on Halloween as well, I would say, but that was the third game that we played on our game night. So I just realized that I didn't tell you guys the publisher and the designer of like the last 3 games, which I'm so sorry. I've failed as a board game content creator. I am trying to get better, but I will put all the information on the screen for all of these games, the publishers, the designers, all of those things. But the next game is, speaking of Calico, another like tile placing game where you're placing things in certain places to get as many points as possible. This is the Whatnot cabinet. It is designed by Steve Finn, Bess Sobel, and Eduardo Baraf, and published by Pencil First Games. Pencil First Games also does Sunset Over Water, which is one of my favorite games that I feel like needs more love, so definitely go check that one out as well. But the Whatnot cabinet is so good. Again, if you loved the sound of Calico, but you want a little bit more of a chill game, not as stressful and not as difficult, this one is for you. I was so excited to find this one at our board game store, which if you guys haven't gone and seen, I uploaded a vlog where we went board game shopping. And I personally think that more board game content creators need to make board game shop with me videos, because I'm not gonna lie, I have watched my own vlog like 3 times because I just like watching like someone walk through a board game store. I want to look at the shelves with you. Please, if you are a board game content creator, take me shopping with you. That would be great, thank you. But I ended up finding this at our local game store and I was very surprised. I did not think that they would have this, but it is such a good intro tile placing puzzly game. Again, very much like Calico, but a lot more chill. So you have this little cabinet here that you are placing your tiles in. You want all of the same type in the rows and then all the same color in the columns. I believe you can have all different or all the same, but you don't want like some of the same and some different, if that makes sense. So if you're wanting just a little bit more of a chill puzzly game, this one is definitely for you. I definitely recommend it. Definitely. Just always saying definitely. Next up, we have, I think, my biggest surprise of the month. This is a card game. I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much purchased it from the theme alone, and the gameplay actually surprised me a lot, and that is Dog Lover. This is a card drafting game, and oh my goodness, I am obsessed with this game. It is published by AEG, and it is designed by David Short, and they also have another one called Cat Lady, which has a very similar gameplay, but it's more for people that like cats. So if you're more of a cat lover, which, why aren't you dog lover? Because dogs are obviously so much better. But if you are more of a cat lover, they have one for you as well. But dog lover, you are basically drafting cards from this middle area here, and you have these trick cards that allow you to take the cards from the middle in certain configurations. So for example, you start with the sit card, which is just 3 cards in a row. So you could take from this column, you could take from this column, you can turn it, so you could take these here. It's just such a cool game mechanic, and then you can also get more of the trick cards in the game throughout the game that allow you to take different cards in different configurations, and you are adopting dogs. So for example, if you get 2 of the adoption cards, you can trade those in and adopt a dog, and you are putting the dogs in front of you and giving them toys and feeding them and doing different things to make your dogs happy, and the person with the most points at the end, most points at the end wins. And it is just such a good card game. I absolutely love it, and the gameplay really surprised me. It is so good, and the art is just absolutely amazing. There is a dog that looks like Penny right here. Adorable. Next game is a hefty boy, and this is our first ever Uwe Rosenberg game, which if you don't know who Uwe Rosenberg is, he is a very popular game designer. He's designed a ton of amazing games. But this one here is Caverna, the Cave Farmers. This one we decided on because we're going between Agricola and Caverna, and this one provided more strategy and then also wasn't as punishing as Agricola. So we ended up going for this one. It is a very hefty boy, but basically in this game, you are a family of dwarves trying to build out your homestead. You're building out your farm with your crops and your farm animals, and then you're also building your home inside a cave, and it's just such a good, it's a worker placement game, like huge worker placement game where there's just a bunch of different options for your workers, and worker placement is definitely Francis and I's favorite mechanism. So this was right up our alley. We absolutely loved it. We've only played it once, just the two of us, but I'm super excited to try it more, possibly with 4 players. And I believe it can play up to 7 people, but that's a little bit much. I feel like this would end up being like a 5-hour game if we did that. So yes, love Caverna. It's published by Lookout Games, by the way. And like I said before, Uwe Rosenberg, such a good designer and such a good game. So the next game is the only party game that we have in this video, but we went to my parents' house on family day and we realized that we didn't have a ton of games to play with like a lot of people. So we ended up picking up this, which is just one. This is a very popular party game. It's like a word game where basically the person that it's their turn, they have a card that is facing everyone else and they pick 1 through 5. There's 5 different words on that card. They can't see the words, so they are just randomly picking a number 1 through 5, and then whatever that word is, everyone else is having to give a 1-word clue for that person to guess the word on the card. And everyone has like a dry erase little board, and we all show each other, not the person that it's their turn. They keep their eyes closed, but everyone shows each other their answers, and then if there's anybody that has the same answer, those get taken out. So the person that it's their turn, they don't have as many clues to go by. So you're trying to think of like different, very unique words that maybe no one else will come up with, but at the same time you're trying to get good clues, or you're trying to give good clues so that the person knows what word you're trying to get them to guess. But such a good party game. The only downside with this one, and I feel like just with a lot of party games, is that I feel like once you play this a ton of times, it will get pretty like redundant and kind of boring. So I don't know. We played it the first time with Francis's parents over the past weekend, and it's really, really good. And it does come with a lot of cards, so I think that's one good thing, is that like you'll have a lot of cards to play with, and hopefully it doesn't get too redundant or too boring over time, but we'll see. And then the second game that we played with Francis's parents over the weekend is this right here, and this is Paperback. We actually saw this while we were board game shopping, but we didn't pick it up then because we wanted to look at the differences between Paperback and then there's also Hardback. We wanted to look at the differences between the two because we didn't know which one we wanted to get, but we ended up getting Paperback because it is a little bit more of a simple game than Hardback. Hardback kind of leads more towards deck building, whereas this leans more towards the word and spelling aspect of the game. But basically it is a deck building word game, which I think is such a cool combination that I've never heard of before. This game was published by Tim Fowers, and I believe he self-published it under Fowers Games, so that is absolutely amazing. He made such a cool, unique game. But basically you just have cards that each one is a different letter, and you're picking up from your pickup pile or your draw pile, that's what they're called, and you're spelling words with the cards that you picked up in order to buy more letters to then put in your deck. It's a deck building game, so you're building up your deck of different letters in order to spell different words, bigger words, in order to get as many points as possible. So if you are a fan of like Scrabble or Wordle these days, I definitely recommend this one. I feel like my mom will absolutely love this game. That's kind of why we purchased it, was because we thought that both of our moms would love this game, and we want to be able to play more games with our moms and our parents. So we picked up Paperback, and we are so happy we did because it was so good, and I'm so excited to play it more. So I left this one for the last spot because I think this is my favorite out of all of these games that we played this month. I've only played this once. We played it 2 nights ago, and I am in love with this game. Not only the art and the theme, but the gameplay is just so good. And that is Bitoku. Oh my goodness. Guys, this game is absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning, absolutely amazing. It is published by Devier Games, and it is designed by Jermaine P. Millan. It is so, so good. The art is stunning. You guys can obviously tell by the cover. It's very, I keep on saying this, but it's very Studio Ghibli vibes. I love the theme where you're competing to take the spot of the like forest spirit. He's like leaving, I guess, and he's wanting someone else to rule the forest. So you are competing to be the next ruler of the forest. I guess spirit of the forest. But yes, it is so good. I love the theme, the art, the gameplay is absolutely amazing. There's actually a really cool dice mechanism that I absolutely love where you're not actually ever rolling your die. They start at 1, 2, and 3, and you gain these little, I'm gonna call them pips. I don't think they're actually called pips in the game, but you're gaining either a 1 pip, a 2 pip, or a 3 pip, and those allow you to increase the number on your die by that many, and that allows you to do better things on the board. And then there's a river that goes across the board, and whenever you, because the die are actually workers, so you're placing them on the board to do something, and then when you put them over or put them across the river, they go down 1 in order to do that. And then you take the die number that you have on them after you do everything and put them back on your player board for the next round. So you're never actually rolling your die, which is super cool. So love this game. I'm super, super excited to play it more. There is a solo variation, so I'm super excited to try that out. But I think this is my pick of the month. Bitoku, definitely recommend. Absolutely stunning game. Such good gameplay. And I'm so excited that I picked that one up. So that is everything for this February wrap up, all the games that we played video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing all the games that we played this month. Definitely let me know down in the comments a game that you guys played that you enjoyed. Also hit that subscribe button if you want to subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. Hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload. I'm super excited to do the video of transforming our rec room into a board game room. That's gonna be super fun. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I love you so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.